Hey, what's up, guys? Doing one more coaching video here for Knails that is unsolicited. He didn't ask me to look at this one. He just posted it with a little bit of rage in the replay channel, in the Proto Strategy channel, and I thought, you know what? Why not continue our series and do another video? Now I'm going to try to make this one a little bit faster. So I've already recorded this once, and it came in at 10 minutes because I can't seem to stop talking. So I'm going to try and make this one under 5 minutes. So we're just going to quickly go through and see what happens in this game. You do a 9 scout, which is a little early for PvP, but it's not the end of the world. You scout that he's got a forge, so you drop a forge of your own. That's fine. And then you scout around for a cannon rush. You don't scout everywhere, but you're scouting all the reasonable spots. And then you decide to go for a nexus. And crucially, I think this is a mistake. I would not go for a nexus in this scenario because you are delaying your tech. So you have a faster gate than him. I personally would prioritize getting a cyber core before anything else. If you are going to get the nexus, then get the cyber core immediately afterwards. But I think you still don't end up doing that. So your cyber core ends up coming down. Let's see. Now? Anytime? Yeah, so like 20 seconds later than it should have been. So his cyber core ends up a lot faster than yours. Now, I get the reason why you'd go for this is because he's got Forge and he's cannon rushing you, but he hasn't actually gotten anything. So he's not going to have much aggressive potential. So I think this is not the worst thing in the world. Personally, I would prefer going for a cyber core as quickly as possible, to get a Stargate as quickly as possible, to then go and harass his probes because he's not going to have stalkers to defend it. Or you could just all in him with like a 3 or 4 gate robo and just use a warp prism and drop a bunch of stalkers in his main and kill him. Like opening Forge like this is just suicidal if the opponent punishes it. But instead of doing that, you go for a really early nexus, which is economically advantageous, but you're going to be vulnerable because his tech is going to be a little bit faster. So I think that's going to make things a little bit awkward for you. Other than that, I mean, this is not the biggest thing. So the only thing he can do right now to sort of keep himself in the game economically would be to use his tech to some sort of advantage. Now, the thing that I will say is that given that he has a forge and he hasn't actually done anything with it other than built this cannon, I would be suspicious and I would be checking around here for a cannon rush, especially before the nexus is finished. Again, once this finishes, you want to prioritize getting a stalker out as quickly as possible. And we have this gateway sort of just sitting idle here. Again, you saw that he had a forge, so that tells you, like, I get why you would be a little bit greedy in the first instance, but that lasts for about 30 seconds before he could have gotten a gateway of his own. So you do need to prioritize getting units out of this as quickly as possible. The robo before a stalker, I think, is very greedy. And so this is what we saw in the last game versus the Terran as well. You need to make sure that your gateways in the early game are making units. You don't have a lot of production capacity in the early game as Protoss, so you need to make sure that you are constantly producing units out of these gateways whenever possible. Because you didn't produce things out of these gateways, and because you ignored the cannon rush that showed up on your minimap, you end up losing this base. So this is the second big mistake, I would say, is not making units out of the space. So even though he opened with a forge, you can see he's still got a stalker, he's still got warp gate finishing, and he's even got a robo as well. He's got 3 gate robo, and you've got 1 sentry total. So you've actually put yourself way behind in tech compared to him. And from here, this base dies, and you have no real advantages anymore. You don't have warp gate. You haven't even made any robo units, so the fact that you got the early robo is pointless, and you're going to lose your base, so your eco is pointless as well. So 3 things in this game: tech before nexus in PvP, make units out of your gateways constantly, and check your minimap when someone's cannon rushing. Like this showed up on your minimap a lot earlier, and you could have pulled. But I'd say that the tech and the units are the main 2 things. And then you should have crushed this guy. So next time, you probably will. So good luck in the next one.